right, folks, we are just getting settled in right here as you enjoy the views of Annapolis this morning. It is such a beautiful town, and it is also the center of power for the state of Maryland. And in this great state of Maryland, the man who is charged with keeping everything running is the governor of Maryland, Martin O'Malley, who joins us now.
You just helped me onto this fine vessel. Thank you very much.
You were very adept, very nimble.
You know, Governor, it wouldn't be Annapolis if we weren't doing the interview on a boat, and how fitting for Maryland it's a Skipjack as well.
Yeah, Skipjack. These are great old historic vessels. These are the vessels that would run the British blockade, that maintained trade throughout the world between Baltimore and other places like China. And this is a beauty. She was built in about the 1950s. Her name is Rosie Parks, and it's a beautiful ship.
See, Allison, we were just saying, who needs to talk politics when you can get a maritime lesson from the governor, right?
Oh, press my button. I can go on Maryland history specialty. I'll take it for Maryland history for 50.
Well, that's what we love. Listen, the governor's, the whole, Capitol is right up the road here. We can actually see the dome from here, and your residence right next to it. So you spend a lot of time here in Annapolis. What do you do when you're not working?
Well, a lot of times you spend your time on the road and going to places all around the state. But for those days that are office days and days when you have meetings, to be able to be here in this historic state capitol, I mean, it's a beautiful place.
Most
and just
definitely.
To imagine all of the other neighbors of ours, albeit from another time, like Kunta Kinte or George Washington and people in between that have come here. And I remember coming here with my dad as a little kid with my brothers and my mom, and them taking us around and pointing to the people whose portraits were on the wall. So this is a historic place and a beautiful place, and it's a great honor to be able to, when you're working in the state capitol, to be in such a beautiful state capitol.
Governor, now that your time is coming to an end, what do you hope to see continue as far as the wheels in motion under your administration?
Thanks. There's a lot of exciting things, and none that has greater potential than the common platform we've brought together using technology and the internet for the restoration of the Chesapeake Bay. In other words, better choices and better actions on the land around the rivers and waters of the bay that will allow us to reduce the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and the sediment. These are man-made problems, and their solutions require men and women to work together to make better choices. And that's what we now have in motion. But that same approach of common platforms, measuring performance, calling people to the task of making Maryland a healthier, stronger, and more prosperous place. I mean, we're doing that with regard to public safety, with giving our people higher and better skills and better education levels, and improving the health of our people. So there's a fundamentally new way of governing that's coming forward in our country, and I believe Maryland is one of the forerunners in that. It's performance measured, it's open, and it's collaborative.
You know, Governor, when Allison said that your time as governor is coming to an end, we want to make a point of saying that your time as governor coming to an end. There are obviously many more things for you down the road. I do have to ask you, though, your name's been thrown out there for perhaps bigger things. What is the plan for you once you're done at the State House?
Yeah, I don't like entourages.
Bigger security, maybe?
Yeah. Well, I feel very, very blessed and honored to have been able to govern the people of Maryland in really difficult times, and we've achieved some pretty remarkable progress together, whether it's on achieving the highest median income or the best public schools 5 years in a row. And so I would like to, as all of us would, spend my life doing work that's worth doing. So we'll see.
Would you like to stay in politics in some way?
Well, I'm looking very seriously at running in 2016 for president, and that's a decision we'll make down the road. Right now I'm doing everything I can to help Anthony Brown be elected the next governor of Maryland.
And I'm sure that should that be a successful run, you will not forget all of your friends in Maryland.
Oh, I'm always in Maryland.
Or at that point, though, you've got 49 other states that you have to take care of as well.
Yeah, but my heart will always be in Maryland.
Let me ask you, the day in governor, what will you do to the rest of the day here?
I have a few meetings, one on school breakfast in Baltimore City. We see that there's a much higher number of kids that qualify and receive a school lunch, but only about half as many kids get the school breakfast. And the science shows that if a child's fed in the morning, he or she is going to learn a lot better for those first 3 hours of the day. So I have a meeting on that, a couple other meetings, going to tape some videos topics that Nina has queued up. So it's a lot of meetings and discussions about some judicial appointments and possibly some judicial interviews. Governors of Maryland interview everyone who is, well, I shouldn't say everyone. The final 3 candidates come forward for judicial vacancies, and we have a practice of interviewing all of them. So those are some of the things that I do while we're here, and we probably have, no doubt, a state stat meeting here on some department that I might pop into.
I know you're busy on the statewide level. You're also very attuned with everything here in Annapolis, and we just showed some of these youngsters from the local elementary, and the first thing you said was that's a school that we were able to save. So I know you're very fine-tuned with everything in your local community as well.
Yeah, well, statewide, Anthony Brown and I have, we've been able to lead our state in setting record investments in terms of renovating and building new public schools. And I was talking to the kids because they're in a very historic old school that real estate developers might have said you're better off just selling it for condos rather than rebuilding the school here. But the kids were telling me how cool their classrooms are and how proud they are that they're the only kids in the whole country that get to look out their classroom window at the Chesapeake Bay. But there's examples like that all over our state. We don't realize it because when we take our children to a county school, it's a county school. But the school construction dollars are things that the counties and the state do together, and a huge amount of that was the big investments we've made with our AAA bond rating working for us to renovate and build a lot of new schools.
Hopefully you have a little time also to rock out a little bit.
Still playing guitar, playing a banjo?
Yeah, every now and again. In fact, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be celebrating the bicentennial of the Star-Spangled Banner in Baltimore. And so my band will be doing a little opening number for the Star-Spangled Banner Defense of Baltimore Rock Opera at Patterson Park on Sunday the 14th. But that whole weekend will be a great weekend of celebration of Baltimore with the Blue Angels, tall ships, gray halls.
Gotta love it when the governor can get his plug in, right? You love it. Listen, do us a favor. If you do go for that higher office and you succeed, can I get an interview with you on a paddleboard someday?
Absolutely. You're on.
Let's do it.
Governor Martin O'Malley, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Governor. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, guys.